Lonna Kelly. This is Hudson Valley Art Speak, and thanks for watching today. Today we're going to be talking to Joanna Hess, who has her fingers in a lot of things in Dutchess County, and she's going to tell us about Art Along the Hudson and also about the Art Studio Tour, a open studio tour that she manages. Thanks for coming today, Joanna.
I'm delighted to be here, Lonna. It's really exciting.
That's great, thanks. Why don't we start with Art Along the Hudson and tell everybody what is it?
Oh my, Art Along the Hudson is an 11-year-old organization that's actually a collaborative effort among 13 different communities. And we started, 11 years ago, we started with Kingston had been doing late nights for the first Saturdays of the month. And then Beacon started having their late nights, and they chose the second Saturday, and Poughkeepsie was doing the third Saturday, and Newburgh the final Saturday of the month. And we got together and decided that we should jointly promote the arts. And so it started that way in the downstairs office of the Dutchess County Arts Council long ago. And soon after that, Linda Hubbard became chairperson and took it off the map. And she went running with it. And now we have 13 communities that are participating. We just had a fabulous kickoff that you got to come
I was at. It was incredible.
At Saugerties Performing Arts Factory. It was amazing. Every community had art on the walls, and we've had about 500 people attend that event.
Did you?
It was really fun.
I know parking was virtually impossible.
Yeah, someone told me we shut down the thruway. But they were parking across the street, and no one expected that crowd. And so the arts are alive and well in Dutchess, Ulster, Orange, and Putnam, all up and down the county. And so last year, Linda Hubbard retired. So Patty Lott, who runs Grey Owl Gallery in New Paltz, and I volunteered to be co-chair of this organization now. But instead of it being run by a single person and we each were told what to do, everybody now has a role.
Yeah.
So it's a shared organization at this point. So we have a treasurer and somebody who does the media, and so we each have a role in it. And we meet every couple of months to just make sure the brochures are getting out. This is our new brochure, and it lists all the galleries that you could go to in each community. And then somebody from each community, the liaison, updates that information on the website. And so everything's driven by artalongthehudson.com. People go to the website. Well, we hope people who are planning a trip would go to the website first and pre-plan where they're going to go and what galleries they might see, and they can check what shows are there. They can see the hours and so forth. So that's a big job that we're doing now because the brochure is full.
Right. Well, and it's also not just the Hudson River towns now. There are other towns that are away from the river,
slightly away. New Paltz is off the river, but it's still the river valley.
Yeah, Hudson River, of course.
And Saugerties is along the river, so most of them are within stone's throw of the river, we say.
Yeah, last year Art East was one of the open studio tours that advertised or was a member of Art Along the Hudson, and we got calls. I got calls from Syracuse. We got people from a much wider area than we ever had before.
And you're on again this year.
That's right. Well, after such a big success, how could we not be?
Yes, and so we have actually 7 studio tours that we promote through the brochure and the website.
Yeah.
2 of them have happened already. The one in Beacon and in Peekskill already took place. However, August is a big month because Saugerties and the one I direct, Northern Dutchess Art Studio Tours, are both happening. And then September, Newburgh does their tour the last weekend, and then yours in October, a double weekend.
Right, 2 weekends.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of art for people to see.
Yeah.
And to come and support the studios directly.
Yeah.
And so Art Along the Hudson is the vehicle that the studio tours, they get their promotion through that.
Yes. Yeah, we got a lot of promotion through that. It was a very well spent portion of our advertising dollar.
And we get Dutchess Tourism promotes it.
Yes, yes.
As well as we're on 2 radio stations, WAMC, the public radio, and WKZE, which is a private radio station that is throughout Dutchess County now and into Ulster County. So you'll hear my voice on the monthly ads that we promote whatever's happening in the region.
Yeah.
And so between the radio sponsorships and the brochure and the website, we try to cover every way.
Yeah, well, you spread that brochure out really wide, don't you? I mean, you get 50,000 of them, or
70.
70, wow.
70,000. And actually, there's a company that distributes them in Grand Central Station and on Metro North. I think there's 4 stops, and they also are distributed on the Thruway in 3 different tourism booths. But there's also a touchscreen device at Mohonk Mountain House and at Grand Central now, where you can actually get to Art Along the Hudson, and you can say Peekskill, what's happening there, and people can go right online there.
Yeah.
So it's really expanded.
Yeah. And now the art studio tour that you direct is, of course, a member of Art Along the Hudson,
yes.
but it's in Northern Dutchess?
Yes, we're in 4 towns, from Tivoli to Red Hook, Rhinebeck, and Hyde Park.
Yeah.
So it's it's about a 50-mile drive over a weekend, over Labor Day weekend. This is our 7th year.
Yeah.
And this year we have 19 artists. Many are new to the studio tour. Some artists who have been on it for 6 years wanted a hiatus.
Sure.
So they could go on the tour because they've never gotten to do that before.
That's the downside of opening your studio.
But then so many people called and said, "Oh, I heard about this and I'd like to try opening my studio to the public." And it's such a great time. People have so much fun going into the studio, seeing the secret lair of where artists work and ask questions. How did you do this? Why are you even doing it?
Right.
And as you know, because your studio's open to the public.
Right.
And I don't have a studio that's open, so I can direct it and go on it at the same time.
Yeah, which is really nice because I don't get to go on it. But I visit everybody's studio. Sometimes I go around and I photograph all the studios. So I get a private tour sometimes, which is really, really nice.
I'm going to do that Wednesday. I have to photograph everyone for our YouTube video. So I'm going to the 5 new studios.
Yes,
this year.
Yeah. Do you find it easier to do the art studio, to manage the art studio tour than to manage Art Along the Hudson? Is it less work or?
Art Along the Hudson is new, and so we're taking baby steps. We're not shaking things up too much. We're keeping with the structure Linda set for us. We're not promoting it in a different way. So we're a little nervous.
Yeah.
But that's a group. And so that's really much more fun in the way that you can brainstorm. The studio tour is me.
Yeah.
I'm the tour director. I make the decisions. And I love doing it because I get to know the artists pretty intimately, and I love seeing how their brains are working and what they're doing, and also how they've grown from what they did initially 6 years ago to where they are now. And it's just very interesting to me personally. So it's difficult, as people say, it's like rounding up cats to try to get a group of artists to agree on things or to show up for our group photograph or anything. But they're very friendly. Everyone is on email, fortunately, and so
that makes such a big difference.
It makes a huge difference. But when I have to meet with them, that causes problems. But we're having another. I decided food was the way to go, so we're having a picnic in July, and that's where I'll distribute the brochures to everybody and the road signs, and we'll get together.
Lure them with the food, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So you said you have 19 artists this year.
Yes.
Is there any qualifying thing? Do you how does an artist join? Is there any achievement that they have to have? Do they have to have an actual studio?
They have to have a studio.
Uh-huh.
It can't just be pictures on the wall of their living room.
Uh-huh.
There's a group that initially went around and interviewed people, and they had to have some experience in galleries of being shown. But as I said, most of the people with us have been with us from the beginning. So I'm not really vetting a lot of new people, but people are coming to us, and then they do show me a resume, and I do see their artwork. And you can tell if someone's professional enough to have a studio tour, because they have to be friendly to people. There's certain aspects to opening your door. You can't just open the door and say, well, here it is. They have to really have a presence and to be able to speak about their work as well as have great work.
Yeah, I think that is such an important thing, that, you know, when you greet people and they come in, you have to be able to engage with them.
Oh, yes.
You know, you can't just let them wander around unless they obviously don't want to talk to you. I mean, there are people who come in and would rather look, but it's nice, it's good to be able to draw them out. And
well, you have to at least say hello, welcome.
Yes.
I mean, that's really, really important. And having food at the gallery too, you know, at each studio is always nice for people to have some lemonade and cookies or something.
Yeah.
But most people, once they're in the space, which is takes some courage.
Yes, it does.
Because here you are walking into a place you've never been before. You don't know the person. You're not sure of the artwork. You may have seen samples, but you don't really know. Like, someone's a photographer. Well, what does that really mean? And so they go in, and then once they feel more comfortable in the space, the conversation flows a little bit easier.
Yeah. Do you find that you get many of the same guests coming back year after year?
We do.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a couple that I saw recently, and I didn't have their email address. I saw them Saturday night at a First Saturday in Kingston event. And I said, I was so glad to run into you, because I wanted to invite them to, the Rhinebeck Bank is our premier sponsor, and they always host a kickoff event in the Rhinebeck branch, which has a gallery. It's an atrium, and we get to hang, every artist has a sample of their work.
Right, yeah.
And then it's a really lovely, lovely reception that they throw for us. And so this couple, I wanted to make sure they got invited. So, because they've come every year. Yeah. And they've bought pieces also.
Oh, that's even better.
Which is even better. And, you know, that's also part of the tour, is for people to get to know that the art's accessible, it's affordable, that they can buy it and support the artist directly. But Rhinebeck Bank is our premier sponsor, and then the Gardens of Rhinebeck and Vicki Hack with American Financial is our other sponsors. And so we're very grateful to them, and we always encourage people to support the sponsors, to support the arts.
That's right, that's right.
Because without them, we couldn't print our brochures or posters.
Yeah, do some of your advertising. So we're just about out of time. So why don't we just tell everybody again the dates for the studio views?
The studio tour is Labor Day weekend, August 30th and 31st this year, from 11 to 5 both days. There's 19 studios to visit from Hyde Park. You can go to Rhinebeck, to Red Hook, and to Tivoli, Northern Tivoli. And everybody is excited. They're looking forward to having as many people come as possible.
Yeah, and where could, where I see you have these
This
cards.
is a rack card. I just picked it up from, I
these?
just got it from the printer.
Yeah.
So we're going to be distributing them throughout the area.
Yeah.
And they can go on the website also to get more information.
That's great.
But this is the Save the Date rack card that hopefully you'll take a few to Art East.
I will. Thanks so much, Joanna.
Oh, thank you, Lonna.
It was so nice
it's been
to
wonderful.
See you, to have you here today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so how many